Hi, everybody. We're here for the full moon meditation, Solar Libra, full moon in Aries. And I was just watching it rising over the eastern hills near me, all in an orange fireball, which was perfect for Aries, the feeling of Aries right now. Talk about opposites, Libra and Aries, right? Those two signs are as contrasting as can be. All the opposite signs are, but that one is particularly so. Libra is peaceful. Libra wants balance. Libra wants harmony. Libra wants to get along. And what's happening is a fireball. There's fire energy out there and strong energy out there that we as meditators can work with that energy and harness that energy and use that energy to work with right now in these very, very challenging times. And some of you that have been following the Astrocast, we've been talking about, how intense things are. I found a tarot card to me that describes this time, and if you are aware of tarot at all or just have studied it, you'll recognize why this is the perfect card. So this is called the Tower. I don't know if you can see that. Let me bring it in more. So the image is a tower that's being struck by lightning, right? And so what's happening is that tower that is happening right now of our structures, right? The structures that we have trusted and we thought they were enduring and they would last forever are being challenged and challenged and challenged. I've written on this breakdown. That's my keyword for that card. It's like it's a breakdown to be renewed. And so you can see that that's happening right now so much that we are in every way having to relook at our systems, all of them, and the fixedness of those systems, and they need to move, right? It's one of the images that I think of during this time is when I was a little kid, and we drove across the United States several times, and I remember looking at the mountains as you would be driving by, and the rolling mountains across the Midwest or over the Rocky Mountains and then into the Midwest as they're kind of quieting down. And they looked like, from my little 5-year-old point of view, like dinosaurs that were sleeping. And I remember thinking, what if they woke up? Like they would wake up, they would rise, right? And it seems like that a little bit right now. Like the dinosaur, these old systems are lifting and rising, and we are seeing what things are, what they actually are, what's working, what's not working. And so, that means the kind of everyday regular life of ours looks different. And we are having to deal with the changes that are happening, and we are the generation and we are the group that's getting to work with these energies, to move these energies, and to strengthen ourselves with these energies to create a better world. And that's what this is all about. How do we create a better world out of all of what's kind of falling apart? And like in all things, we call it, as in the spiritual community, we would say this is a healing crisis, right? And that's not a bad thing. That it means you're closer, right? You're getting closer and closer to the healing that is happening. But as you approach it, it's sort of the fever, right, is strong. And so as a world, we are doing this together. And we meditators are part of the holding pattern to allow this to happen in the most peaceful possible way, if possible, if there's any possibility of things happening in right order, in right timing, in right relationship with each other. It is because of the consciousness that this world does have. And we here right now as meditators are holding that consciousness on purpose. Now there's many people that are not meditating or meditators that are holding that consciousness too, because they are conscious, right? They may not have this tool that we have, the engine of meditation, but they have that inner awareness right? And we know, I know, and you know, lots of people like that, that are conscious and don't realize the power that they're holding. And when they hook up, right, and link up, and that's the power of meditation, when we link up like this, we are creating a holding pattern that midwives this next step that we're moving into. And we are right in the middle of it. We are in the beginnings of the contraction. This is not the birth yet. The birth is way away still. And we're sort of in that difficult period where it just sort of hurts and it's uncomfortable and there's a lot of unknowns that are happening. And it is for us to hold our own centers right now, very carefully, very mindfully. One of the key words for Libra, for me, for this solar sign of Libra now we're talking about, is synthesize. Synthesizing. Synthesizing means finding what's the same, finding the common note, right? And finding what's the same, even in the opposites, right? Love and love. Where is the love? And I've been teaching in my meditation class lately the idea of, in the yin and yang symbol, that there's a dot of the other in the other, right? And so how do we recognize that in each other, and how do we allow this growth that's happening to move into our collective next step without damaging, right? So, that's the work of this, and that takes awareness. That takes like psychic surgery practically. And meditation helps with that, to be able to navigate what's happening as we're being shocked. The Tower card, right? It's about shock. It's it's lightning bolt, right? But it's not necessarily bad, because when you think of kind of psychic energy, it can be like a lightning bolt. It awakens, right? It cracks the crystal. It cracks the crystallization. It opens up the system to be renewed. And so here we are, at that time of an Aries moon, which is striking, right? And strong and powerful and wants the change and is ready for the change. That's the energy of Aries moon. And in this Libra period where we're talking about a new Supreme Court justice, where we're talking about an election in America, and the whole world is working with similar energies as all of our political processes are being challenged, while meanwhile, there's limitation of movement, of travel, of being able to leave your house even, right? And our whole economy, everything is being challenged. And I only say all this because I know you know this, but I'm trying to give it in a different context slightly, to feel the power that we can have and the creative power that we can use to move with these energies to create a result that is for the highest good, right? It's the highest good that we're leaning towards. So be mindful, right? That's a really good way to just say it in that simple way. Be mindful these days. Be aware these days. Be aware of what you're thinking even, so that you're not, jumping on to the bandwagon of the latest, greatest fear that's out there, or the latest, greatest shock that's happening, that there's a steadiness. Libra is steady. Libra is balancing, right? So we're in that month of Libra where we really are embodying balance, right? Or imbalance, right? And trying to find our balance in the imbalance so that we can start to be steadier and steadier. And that all starts within. So if I'm off balance in my own thinking or in my own emotions, right, then I am part of it, because I'm also out of balance. So when you meditate, you're lining up. You're lining up with something bigger than you are, right? You're lining up with each other. We are lining up with each other, and we're lining up with it, meaning that divine plan, that greater good, that sacred journey of the earth, that the earth is going through and birthing itself to become a sacred planet, and our own self-awareness as we become our own sacred selves and become aware that we are sacred, each one of us. And I've been loving this lately, thinking about the Bodhisattva, which is the vow of the Buddha, right? And it's a beautiful concept, which is the Buddha's vow is, not was, but is, that the Buddha cannot ascend until every sentient being does before him, her, right? Every sentient being does before. And do you feel the humbleness of that position? And even though, we want to fix it, we want to fight it, we want to change it, we want to help it, we want to something it, we have to sort of allow the changes that are happening, navigating it like a rudder on a ship, that you are keeping your own balance so that we bring our balance, our alignment, our sacred self to this sacred moment in our humanity's history to help birth what is next for all of us. And you can feel it coming, and it's a big wave. And those dinosaurs, right? The dinosaur sort of lifts up and it sort of pushes off the rocks of the mountain that it seems to be. And we're getting to really look straight up at it. And everything is being revealed. Everything. And so we are looking under every rock, and we are seeing everything that has been hidden for a long, long time, and it is being exposed. And what do we do with that information? How do we manage that data? How do we work with it? How do we heal it? How do we grow into the next thing of this? And so back to mindfulness, because that's a Libra word, right? So the mindfulness is right thinking. So you're managing your own thoughts. What are you thinking? What are you thinking about yourself? What are you thinking about the world? How much fear are you allowing to run through you? It's not to say to deny what you feel, but it is being aware of what you feel, what you're thinking, so that you're not just adding to the cacophony of the din of a lot of out-of-tune instruments. Like, have you ever been to a symphony, and before it begins and it makes the most beautiful music, they tune up, right? And you hear 150 instruments all trying to find the note, right? They're all finding the note. And it sounds not beautiful, right? But then all of a sudden it goes, and everybody's got the note. Every instrument's got the note. When we meditate together like this, when two or more are gathered, we're finding the note. We're tuning into the channel, like on a radio dial. We're tuning into the channel so that we can hear that same note, so that we can align with each other and help and be part of something that is happening right now, that there's no changing, no turning back from. It's not going back to normal, but it's a new normal. And what is that new normal? And can it be more beautiful? Maybe not right away, maybe it might be a while, but in that changing, there is a beautiful timing to all of this, to heal our world. And it can seem on the hero's journey, right? The circle of the hero's journey. It can seem when you're here at the nadir, right? Here's the zenith. This is where we begin, and we step away. We go away from home, and then we start to go, and we're very excited about leaving. And then we're down here, and as we're coming down, we're going ooh, and down here at the base, we're completely as far away as possible from our beginning point, and it seems very scary at that place. There be dragons, There's that vibration. And the next full moon is on Halloween. And so, it's a lot going on, and just symbolically, for whatever that's worth, and we'll talk about that as we get closer to it, but that's what's in the air right now. And we need to keep our balance during these changing times. So mindfulness, minding what you're thinking, minding what you decide about things. Because part of thinking is deciding what you think, right? To decide what you think. And then to choose from those decisions that are being made consciously. And then from those choices that we make, taking action. So that there's nothing done accidentally. There's nothing done where there's not a consciousness behind it. So you're not just, hitting the sky, right? There's like this awareness behind it, that there's consciousness behind the eyes. And that is, the eyes are the windows to the soul. And you can see the awareness in people's eyes. And right now our faces are covered a lot of the time. And you can see, though, the awareness in the eyes. If you take that moment, and then eye to eye, when you make that spark, when you make that connection with somebody at Trader Joe's, right? That for a moment, right? There's, I see you. I see you. And we're having recognition, conscious recognition of each other with each other, because you're not alone. There's a lot of people, a lot that are aware. And that critical mass is happening on the planet. And it's creating, like it always does, that split, that polarization. And so the Buddha cannot ascend until everyone else does before him. And so we got to all get this together somehow. And that takes time, and that takes awareness, and that takes learning, right? And kind of rehabilitation of our awareness in 1,000 different ways. And it's a beautiful thing, and it's an opportunity, and it's a healing for ourselves and a growth of ourselves and for each other. So in this powerful time right now, just feel yourself, like where are you with all of this consciousness, this mindfulness, on purpose mindfulness. When you have a meditation practice, there comes a time after you've meditated every day 1,000 times, 10,000 times, 100,000 times, over and over and over again, from all the bad meditations that we would say are not good meditations, but you did it anyway. There comes a time when there's no time that we're not meditating. There's no time that we're not conscious. And this becomes world-changing, life-changing, but world-changing. To be in a meditation all the time. And as you walk out there, even when you're walking down the street in your neighborhood, or driving on the freeway, or at the store, or wherever it is that you're interacting, that you're sending energy. It is love, 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 love no matter what. One of my mentors, Tom Carney, wrote today just this simple sentence inside his email for the meditation for today. He said, love is all. And it's hard to imagine when things are falling apart in the way that they are. It's hard to imagine that love is all, even here. Yeah, even here, right? Even here. There's no exception. Still love, and still love. And so how we do that is by our own inner balance and by our own mindfulness and finding our equilibrium in these times of shock and awe that are happening on the planet these days. Like every day, it's more and it's more and it's more. And it's going to keep being like this for a while. So see, what happens when you start to meditate is you start to sense things coming, and I know a lot of you are already hooked up like that. And even if you aren't, you can sense it. You can just sense it like an animal does. You can put your finger up in the air to feel which way the wind is coming. You can sense what's coming, what is. And that's information. And it helps so that you can do what's necessary in the moment. So you can be take action of peace. You can talk about spiritual warrior, right? Being a spiritual warrior, to love in the face of fear. That's courage, right? To love in the face of fear, to love in the face of change, to love when it affects us personally, and to still love. And you might not be able to do it instantly, but you can do it, right? You can find it. You can recover, you can come back to it, and you can heal your own brain, your own self, your own reactions, and be a force of peace. So think of Mahatma Gandhi. and think Martin Luther King and those great ones that have come before, that have held like that in peace. That Nelson Mandela, coming out of prison for all those years, forgave everybody. You know, and that's a hard thing to imagine when there's so much tension and fear out there. And you don't just get there. It's not something that just happens, and if you don't have it, you don't have it. It evolves inside of us, right? It's a growing knowing, right? And so when you meditate, you're hooking up to the soul. And the soul is undivided. Well, the soul is in meditation deep. And the soul, our soul, your soul, my soul, are all connected. We're all a one life. And so when we go into the meditation in a moment, we're going to start like that. We're going to connect, light to light. So if you have a candle nearby, let yourself, let's light that. And if you don't have a physical candle, remember you just light it inside the center of your head. And just take a few breaths now as you just start to quiet in and join your own soul. Be comfortable. And already as you think of joining the soul, what is the sensation of that? The soul's always there. It never moves. It's always there. It's always there. The soul is in meditation deep. We are moving around, right? Underneath of it, our personality, our egos. The soul's just standing constant. So joining with, right? Joining with. And just feel yourself come to center inside yourself as you close your eyes. And start to calibrate yourself with the soul by using your breath at first. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling, and as you do, you're starting to slow down. More and more still. More and more still. Till you start to enter like you're crossing a threshold. You start to enter that sacred space. Across the threshold into that inner cathedral. Om. Om, Om. And you feel yourself now entering the spaciousness of consciousness and the spaciousness of the soul's awareness, which is big and infinite. Becoming more and more still in the heart now. So just at first, just heart centering. Breathing in and out through your heart center. And just as you're breathing through the heart center, sense all hearts, all beings. And let's start with something we often end with in a meditation. And let's say from our heart center, blessings to all beings. Blessings to all beings. From your heart, just breathing it in and out. Blessings to all beings. And it's interesting that I can start here tonight. You see, because we're already up to speed, do you know? Can you feel that? That's where we end, usually. Where our vibration is high enough that that's what we can finally offer. And we're starting there. So the vibration's up, right? So all our attention, the world has our attention. All blessings to all beings. All blessings to all beings. And make this like a prayer, like a blessing, like a healing, to wherever it needs to be, in 1,000 million places, in all the different countries in the world, but all the different places in the world, including oceans and forests and mountains and rivers. All blessings to all beings. From your heart and heart connect. And you might even know somebody else that's here tonight, or be aware of other meditating groups or other meditators, and just feel that you're making like a link to their heart as you think of them, that person, that person, that person, that group, that group, that group, all around the planet, till we create this incredible network of light, heart light, heart light, heart light. And it creates a chalice. The heart creates a chalice that can hold it all. And all of this strife and change, and all of these growing pains, and even our own, our heart can hold it all, and we can hold each other. And just gently being aware of this group of consciousness that we are, this big awareness around the world and beyond our world, of all the masters and teachers that have come before us and that are coming, right? There's no time and space. There's no time or space. So you can go forward or backward and just sense all the consciousness that we are right now, in this meditation right now. From the heart, send a line of light now to the head center. 6th chakra. Within the heart of the head, but not the brain. You'll feel a center there that's called the cave center. And from this place you take your seat. And you begin to breathe here now. And from this place, being aware of the crown chakra now, which is that allowing of energy from the soul to the self, coming through and in. You feel this availability from the light of the soul and the love of the soul entering into that cave center now. And as you sense it, you may sense color or sound, or vibration, and it might be literal and it might not be literal. So whatever you're sensing, trust that. It might just be a feeling of a thrum or an om, the sound of the universe within you. You hold your place here. And being aware of all that is, all the masters and teachers that have ever been and ever will be in this earth experience. Sensing that, the intelligence, the love, the divine plan of it, your own connection to it now, through your soul, to yourself. Take your seat in that cave center and noticing what you notice on this big Aries full moon, which will give maximum light, right? Aries, maximum light. Maximum light through the crown. Maximum light. And just sensing that energy moving all the way up to Sirius, the star, the other sun, the heart of our sun, and the heart of Sirius, its twin. And begin to enter the space now of your meditation as you enter the silence And we'll use this phrase to work within that, to just sort of tune our instruments to the same note today. And that phrase is, I keep my balance within myself and all that is. Or I am in balance with myself and soul and all that is. I am in balance with my soul and myself and all that is. And we're going to be in this silence now for some minutes, so allow that phrase to form light and connection and sinking, like we're tuning into that radio station. I am in balance with the soul and myself and all that is. Sense that crystalline light of the universe gently opening up your consciousness, your awareness, your mind, your life. Let that light influence your thought, your conclusion, your choice, your actions. Let that light now become one with the own light, your own light, of the nuclei of your cells and the atoms of your body, light to light, light to light. So you're the same as it. Light to light, so that your vibration and that vibration are more and more similar. And let fall away things that are not. Fears, worries, concerns, pain. So that what remains is pure, essential light as consciousness. And over these next few days is the continuation, the continuum of a full moon period, which is 5 days, which is today specifically. It was at 2 o'clock today, exact, but it ripples out both ways. And it begins to make its impression, through our dreams, through our thinking, and through our doing eventually. So use your breath then to find your way back into your physical body. As you more and more feel your feet and your breath inside, breathing through the nose, balancing yourself to that light, getting used to this upgrade. It is an upgrade of light. Feel the shift in yourself as you get acquainted to it, get used to it, become one with it, so it becomes part of your new normal inside your operating system of your own awareness and your own perception. Right? You become one with that light. I am one with that light. I'm one with the light of the soul. And I'm in balance with my soul and myself and my world. Om, Om, Om. Good. And so, just gently letting yourself start to transition, if you haven't, out of this meditation. And I remind you of this, the tower, right? The changes that feel like this. And I remind you of the opening image of that Libra image that I love so much, of the ballerina. She holds the earth in one hand and the moon in the other. And she's walking on this tightrope, completely at ease, right? Completely in balance and in harmony with, right? Can you feel the difference of that energy than the tower? So we're changing it, right? We're like that. We become in balance because we're in harmony. We're in harmony with all that is. Right. So that's where we are. And there's more to come, more. So keep your balance, in these Libra times, and let that light infusion of the full moon in Aries make the corrections to the alignment of your own light as you line up with that bigger pattern. And we'll see you again next time. The next full moon is on Halloween in the morning. I think it's at 7:49 a.m., something like that. It's on a Saturday. I'm not sure which day I'll do it on yet, but watch your emails and watch Facebook, and I'll be announcing it. And I hope to see you all then. And I really thank you for being part of this meditation. We need all this awareness right now. Your note, your tuning to that similar note, your love matters. Your light matters, and you want to take care of that light now. Really take care of it and take care of yourself. And so we'll see you next time. I hope you have a really interesting month. There's a lot to work with right now. And just keep your balance. Think of that woman on that wire, that high wire in the space. You be that. We'll see you soon.